Good evening, folks. We are here at Westside High School as the 9th-ranked Westside Warriors are going up against the Papillion-La Vista Monarchs. Going to be a great matchup. Doubleheader of basketball here tonight, starting off with the girls. Cade, my name is Jaden Taylor. Alongside me here tonight, Cade Martin. A little dressed up, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
It's been a good night. It's going to be a really good night of basketball. We got two top 10 matchups, Warriors and Monarchs. Going to start it off with the girls. We're going to look at these two's schedule so far this season. The Warriors on a 3-game win streak after a really solid Metro Conference tournament.
Yeah, the Warriors have just consistently built on their momentum. Those 1-2 losses, they're 9-3 at the moment, but those 3 losses, they were against a very good Millard North squad and 2 close losses. Just being able to build that momentum again, that's what's going to really propel them farther into the season.
Yeah, somewhat of a slow season. We talked about that Millard North loss, that second game of the season. Then, another week later, they go 2-2 with that loss up against Norfolk. But then a really big 3-game stretch going into the Metro Conference tournament, and they were seeded 13th going into that tournament. And we've talked to Stu Pops, a lot of guys over there, even Mike Patterson a little bit, of how they felt that seeding really helped Westside. Even talking to Maddie Siebler a little bit as well before this kind of tournament, she felt that kind of gave them a little bit of chip on their shoulder going into that momentum, or going into those 2 games. Of course, they upset Papio South. They would go up against Burke the next week. They upset them. And then going up against Millard South, of course, a little bit of a struggling event. But when you go up against one of the top teams in the state, it's hard to be able to find that offense. So then looking at Papillion-La Vista, the Monarchs, their schedule so far this season, they've had a little bit of struggle going up against some top teams. They've only played one top 10 team this season, but it was a really good one in Fremont. They were able to make it somewhat close, talking to some coaches a little bit. Felt some calls were not quite there well in that kind of an event, but they really shut down comparatively Elsie McCabe over at Fremont.
Yeah, especially main 2 players really scoring a lot. Jenna Holscher and Caitlin Ryan, just having 2 players, not just one, that you can really count on to score that basketball, that's really important.
I mean, even in that event, they had 14 3-pointers going up against Fremont's 13, and be able to score Fremont from beyond the arc is something that's very hard to do up against one of the best girls teams that we're going to see in the state. Of course, we talk teams like Fremont. Of course, we talk teams like Lincoln Pius. Those are really the top teams to beat, and when you see a team like Pius able to make it somewhat scary up against them, you wonder what they're going to do up against some of these lower teams you see in the top 10. So with that top 10, we're going to look at the standings now in the Omaha World Herald rankings. Just came out this morning for Mike Patterson. Warriors jump up 1 spot after being the 10 seed. It's a little bit of a new mix going somewhat down that 7 through 10, but of course those top 2 are just as big as ever.
Yeah, especially being able to knock off one of those 2 teams that's going to pull their momentum down, and whatever team is able to knock them off, if they're able to, that's going to pull their momentum going further and further.
Yeah, we've talked to those top 2. I mean, Lincoln Pius, of course, with Markowski over there. The Markowski sisters are amazing in volleyball, and they're doing just the same in basketball this season. And of course, Elsie McCabe, McCabe over in Fremont. She's really just been the biggest show over there in Fremont. You see that number 3 spot, Millard South, a little bit. The Warriors will play Fremont later next month, we'll play Millard South later next month. That's going to be a really big matchup, especially after a harsh loss in the Metro Conference tournament. So with that, we're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're about 2 minutes away from tip. Monarchs, Warriors.
cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, ethnic, sexist, or other intimidating comments or actions directed to the officials, students, athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated in our grounds for removal from the facility. Thank you for your cooperation and good luck to both teams. At this time, we ask you to please rise, remove cover, as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Starting lineups, firstly visiting Monarchs from Papillion-La Vista High School. Starting at guard, number 4, Jaden Taylor. At guard, number 10, Anna Fitzgerald. At guard, number 22, Brooklyn Weiss. At guard, number 24, Maggie Bishop. And at forward, number 4, Caitlin Ryan. Monarchs are coached by head coach Josh Siskey, assisted by Cody Troppel, Seth Reeser, Blake Anderson, and Sean Gray. And now here's the starting lineup for y'all. Westside Warriors. At guard, 5'9" junior number 11, Madeline Siebler. At guard, 5'6" junior number 20, Adriana DePrima. At guard, 5'5" junior number 22, Caitlin Hanna. At guard, 5'7" junior number 23, Olivia Pratt. And at guard, 5'8" senior number 24, Ruby Satora. Warriors are coached by head coach Steve Clark, assisted by Tom Rascal, Carolyn Cahill, Thomas Benedetto, Mackenzie Johnson, and Tate Martin. And our officials tonight are members of the NSAA. Their experience and integrity qualify them to administer the rules of the game and attitude of good sportsmanship should be upheld by all spectators, players, and coaches, no matter what your personal feelings or loyalties may be in this contest. Our referee, Kevin Mowry, and the umpire, Brendan Dinsloggy and Larry Russell. It's time to lay ball.
9-3 Westside Warriors going up against these 6-4 Papillion-La Vista Monarchs. Gonna see the tip here to start it off. Madeline Siebler and number 40, Caitlin Ryan for Papillion-La Vista. Warriors 3-game winning streak, looking to keep it going. Up against a team looking for another upset. Started off, Siebler will get the tip, and this one's underway. Hannah working the point guard position. Has used her speed so far this season, able to get into open lanes. Big thing for these Warriors tonight that you guys want to see. Able to speed into open lanes and get good open jump shots. It's been a struggle for them so far this season. They've really been working it up the middle. Open three from Livy Kraft, and it's no good. Speaking of Livy Kraft, Papillion-La Vista transfer from last season for the Warriors. Layup is up and good from Ryan to start it off tonight.
There's really a reason why Caitlin Ryan is the top scorer for Papillion-La Vista, averaging 14.5 points this year.
Siebler trying to drive in, layup no good. Rebound, Shakora won't get it up. Kick out, Kraft. 3, corner, no good. Papillion-La Vista will bring it back the other way. Pass up and in. Maggie Vasha keeps the scoring going for the Monarchs. We've seen some teams so far this season. Millard South really worked a lot of full court press. They did it well. They were able to keep very physical. It was a struggle for the Warriors in that Metro Conference tournament. Seeing somewhat of the same from Papillion tonight. Great feed, Ruby Sikora, and unable to get it through. And the ball will go out of bounds. Will stay to the Warriors.
Warriors off to a little bit of a slow start. 0 for 2 for 3, but that's a little bit to be expected at the start of the game.
Turnover to start it off. Ryan, layup up and good. And more points. 6-0 start for Papillion. Not what you want to see for the Warriors. Another long pass, working around. Kraft trying to find something. Siebler top of the key. Hannah looking for the open 3, long, and it's up and good, no good. Kraft, layup no good, rebound, be a jump ball. Possession arrow will move for the Monarchs, go back the other way. 6-0 start, good momentum swing for the Monarchs in this one. Warriors not seeing Lucy Shanla tonight, as well as Ellie Tempero. Of course, she is out for the season with an ankle injury. Rice trying to work on Caitlin Hanna, looking to drive in and to kick it out. Ryan, another kick out 3, and no good. Another rebound. The 3 from the top of the key, no good. Back iron, go back the other way. Be a foul on the floor. The Fitzgerald's first of the night. They'll keep it into Prima. Prima looking to drive around. Kick it out to Hannah. Doesn't want the 3. Get out to Prima. She'll look for the long 3. And first points of the night. Adriana De Prima makes it a 1-score game. Ryan trying to drive in once again. Going to kick it out. Long 3 from Hoschler. And it's in. Answering back. And it's back to a 6-point lead. And Clark wants a timeout. 4:52 left to go here in this first period. First quarter, excuse me. Warriors down by 6 when we come back. And we're back here inside of Westside High School. Strong start for the Monarchs. They're going to continue their full court press. Siebler going to get off to Hannah. Long pass over to Primo. Dangerous one. She's going to try to drive in. She'll step back, trying to find somebody else. Thought she might have moved her pivot foot, able to get out to the Siebler. Kraft at the top of the key. Over to DePrima. Trying to find something open. Give it out to Sikora. Great cut, backdoor cut. Adriana De Prima puts it home, and it's a 4-point game. Holscher going to give it up to Fitzgerald, over to the top of the key to Rice. Ryan. Fitzgerald trying to drive in on Hannah, going to kick it out. Long, open, 3, Rice, no good. Another rebound goes to Papillion. But another turnover will go the Warriors' way. The Prima going to bring a ball up court, trying to find something she can give it off to Hannah. Zakora at the right wing. Siebler at the right wing, trying to drive in. De Prima, open shot, no good. Air ball might have been tipped. Fitzgerald, long pass over to Holscher. Get off to Rice. Rice trying to drive in, almost lost it. Rice, open three, top corner, good. 7-point lead has started off here in this first quarter. Monarchs are feeling well. Long pass, Adriana Prima, corner three, it's in. Adriana de Prima. Warriors and Monarchs working back and forth. Fitzgerald top of the key, trying to work on Hannah. Won't get the pick and roll. Rice trying to work it around, didn't find the lane. Fitzgerald going to look to slow it down. Fitzgerald, top of the key, three, 2 for 2 on the night. And it's a 7-point lead for Papillion-La Vista. Still keeping a slight press. Backdoor cut, Ruby Sikora layup is up and no good, rebound. She'll get it back to her. De Prima over Siebler, left wing three, no good, front iron, Kraft. De Prima gonna drive in, open lane, layup, and one! Adriana De Prima puts it home. And looking for the 3-point play to make it a 4-point ball game. Shot is up and good. It's a 4-point ball game. Rice, top of the key, gonna work around. Give it out to Fitzgerald. Getting closer, under 2 minutes here left here in the first quarter. Landsman over to Ryan. Try to check that. Cheney Thompson into the ball game and forces a turnover. Thompson, top of the key, open three, and it's in! Great screen from Madeline Siebler, and a turnover. Hannah looking to drive in one-on-one. Layup is up and no good. Missed opportunity there for the Warriors. Could have had the lead. Papillion will bring it back the other way. Landsman's going to give it up to Sargent. Lay it from Fitzgerald, floater, no good. Go back the other way. Warriors just about under a minute now. De Prima looking for the three in the lead, no good. Fitzgerald going to get out to Ryan. Almost had a fast break opportunity, not going to get it. Fitzgerald doesn't want the three. Ryan wants the three. Is it good? No good. And Thompson, open lane, she'll slow it down. Get out to Siebler, looking to post up. Layup is up and no good. Rebound, and we'll go the other way. Landsman looking to slow it down. 33 seconds left in this first quarter. And there'll be a foul on the floor. Call that on Siebler. And it's her first of the night. As you see, Crabb checking the ball game for Hannah. Sarah Carlson will check into the ball game for Rice. And we'll see Sikora check out of the ball game for Bree Bell. Holscher trying to find somebody to give it out to Fitzgerald in the corner. One, maybe two shots left. Fitzgerald looking for the three, no good. Rebound once again to Papillion. Layup is no good. Second chance, no good, and go back the other way. Bryn Sargent had multiple opportunities to put one home. Warriors probably one last possession with 18.5 left to go. Papillion keeping with the press. Hasn't been as strong as it seems in the past. And a turnover. Hosher going to give it off. Almost another turnover back the other way. 9 seconds left. Kick it out to the top of the key over to Emily Larson. Larson, 3 is blocked. Madeline Siebler with a block to end off the first quarter. This one's a close one. Warriors down by 1. And Cade, back and forth one in that one. A little bit of momentum swing towards that end of the first quarter to the Warriors. What have you seen coming into this first quarter?
I mean, really, especially at the start of the quarter, it really looked like, a boys' basketball game for Westside. Both teams sprinting down and back, not really playing a very good of defense. Shots going up, shots going in. Being able to just hold back a little bit, control the tempo for both teams, that's going to be the most important thing going into this second quarter, going into this half for the rest of the game.
Yeah, we really talked about that. I mean, it was a really fast-paced first quarter for both sides. I mean, a little bit of a slow one for the Warriors to start it off, maybe a little bit of rust from this past week off. For the Warriors trying to get their 4th straight win this season. Of course, had a lot of seniors lost last season, a lot of inexperienced players this year. We'll try to continue it here in this second quarter. Hannah will start it off. Give it off to Siebler. Almost loses the ball, trying to keep it in. Ball go out of bounds, but will stay to the Warriors. Hannah going to get off to Sakura. Hannah looking to work around, can't find a lane. Trying to give it off to Prima. Hannah, open 3, no good. Go back the other way. Start off a hot first quarter of 3, slowed it down a little bit late. Rice trying to drive in on Kraft. She'll get fouled on the floor. The Warriors' second of the evening, Kraft's first. Papillion trying to keep a fast-paced offense, what they've been able to do all season. Both these teams have really relied on their speed. Rice trying to drive in on Hannah. Can't find an open lane. Going to give it off to Sargent. Holscher will give it off to Carlson. Holscher in the corner. She'll drive in, kick it out to the corner to the Landsman. Papillion taking their time working around the perimeter. Ball will go out of bounds and a turnover. Go back the Warriors' way. And although it is a limited crowd here tonight, student section is allowed one. Papillion to keep the small press. Surprised we haven't seen from Coach Sisk a little bit more of a quicker press closer to the baseline. Kraft going to give it off to Hannah. Open lane. Layup floater is good. And the Warriors take their first lead of the night. Rice going to give it off. Sargent trying to get out at the corner. Holscher will give it up to Adriana DePrima. Looking for a fast break points. DePrima, layup is up and good. Adriana DePrima, quick turnaround. And she makes this one a 3-point game for the Warriors. DePrima, 13 points on the night. Rice's 3 is no good. Hannah looking to slow it down top of the key. We talked about DePrima so far this season. He's averaged only 5.6 points per game. And one from Ruby Sakura, her second of the night. Sets herself up for another 3-point play. We've really seen both Sakura and DePrima really kind of be more the nitty-gritty players, kind of working a little bit of a forward position, able to get open lanes. But tonight, both of them have been big forces on the offense. Sikora 50% from the charity strike and misses that one to go back the other way. A huge momentum swing going into the second quarter for the Warriors. Fitzgerald checks back into the ball game for the Monarchs. Can't find anything, stops her feet. Ryan trying to drive in. Won't find anything over Sikora. Will force a foul on the floor. Clark doesn't like it. Felt Clark might have been losing her momentum a little bit on that one. Refs discussing, they'll still call a foul on the floor. Oh, gonna go back the other way. Will be a travel.
Did we see a little bit of a bribe there from the student section?
Saw maybe a little bit of some momentum, I guess, if you want to call it that. Some little wagering, if you want to call it that there. But either way, we'll go back to Warriors. A lot of turnovers for Papillion tonight. So what's allowed this big momentum swing for the Warriors? And Ruby Sikora puts up her 6th point of the night. And Sisk wants a timeout for the Monarchs. 7-point lead for Westside. And what a powerful force these Warriors have been in this second quarter. We really haven't seen it a lot this season. They've really struggled somewhat in that first half. They've been really big in that second half. But what can you say about the performance so far tonight, Cade?
I mean, really, it's just going back to their opponents, Papillion-La Vista. They played their hearts out in that first quarter. It just kind of seems like they've run out of steam a little bit. Maybe this small break will help. Maybe the halftime will help. But at this point, if the Warriors keep playing like they are, keep playing how they have been the entire season, this is going to go the Warriors. This is going to go the Warriors' way very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Adriana DePrima, 13 points on the night. That's her season high. I mean, we've really seen her be a bigger force on defense and really been a player that just is able to kick it out to other players. We saw it like last year. She really drived in a lot of the lane, able to kick it out to Brooklyn James. This year it's mainly been Livy Kraft. But DePrima, a really strong first half so far. If she can continue that, it'd be a good night for the Warriors. So Papillion-La Vista will start it off out of the timeout. 5:26 left to go in this first half. Monarchs looking to get back in this one. Ryan will try to work it around. Call a foul on the floor. They'll call it on Siebler. Call it off the ball. Not quite what we saw there. Maybe a little bit of an elbow swing in the corner. It'll be the 3rd foul of the night for the Warriors. Rice. Over to Fitzgerald at the right wing. She'll look to work it around the perimeter. Give it up to Vasha. Layup up and no good. Go back the other way. Big transition points for the Warriors so far tonight. See what they can do here. Hannah looking to slow it down. Give out to Prima. Warriors really taking their time, looking for a good cut. And there it is. Madeline Siebler with 2 points. What a pass from Prima. And it's Siebler's first points of the night. 9-point lead for the Warriors. Worked on a huge run, a 10-0 run here to start it off in this second quarter. Landsman going to give it off to Rice, top of the key. Working on Siebler, can't find anything. Fitzgerald over to Rice. Long 3, and no good. And another defensive rebound for the Warriors. Caitlin Hanna gonna slow it down again. Trying to open up their opportunities. Livy Kraft, open corner 3, and it's good! Great movement around. Caught the Monarchs sleeping a little bit. And Livy Kraft, surprisingly, her first 3 of the night. Monarchs really need to get back into this one. Ryan trying to drive in. We'll look for the layup. And we'll get an and one. Up and under and in. And we'll look for the three-point play.
You know, I said this before, but there had to be a reason why Caitlin Ryan was the top scorer for this Papillion-La Vista team. And with that excellent finger roll, with the foul she's been able to draw, it's very clear to see why.
Yeah, we've really been seeing Holscher as well as Ryan so far this season. Of course, Ryan averaging 14.5 points a game. See here, 75% from the charity strike. And look to get a three-point play, and she will. But of course, that kind of height difference that both those two bring, especially in girls basketball, has allowed them to get really good opportunity, 4 points in the paint. Hannah stops her feet and get out to Prima. She's going to drive in, look for the two-step layup, and it's good! Adriana de Prima, 15 points on the night. What a start for her. Ryan will lose the ball, go back the other way. Another turnover. Looking for some fast break points. Great cut. Siebler won't be able to put it home. And she'll get the foul on the rebound. Siebler's third foul here in the first half. And she'll check out of the ball game for Cheney Thompson. 3:01 left to go here in this first half. And what a second quarter for the Warriors. Currently on a 15-3 run. And we talked a lot about this last year. I mean, both the boys and girls teams are really teams of runs. The boys have been that a little bit so far this season, but the girls, you've never been able to really tell a consistent modem either way.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange, honestly. You know, kind of going back to Siebler a little out of context, but this is kind of like a volleyball game of streaks with this girls' defense, with this girls' offense. I apologize, especially with Siebler at the helm. She's kind of known for those streaks.
Yeah, right. 77% from the charity strike, and she makes it a 9-point game. But the Warriors this season, talking to Clark, they really don't want to work off that momentum. They just want to do what they do. They want to get themselves in the best position to win games. Thompson, give it out to Prima. She looked to drive in, can't find anything. Cut from Hannah won't be there. Tip from Sikora, and it'll stay the Warriors' way. The Prima trying to get out of Sikora. Driving into the paint, she'll kick it out. Hannah will look to slow it down. Thought she might have had an open three, won't do it. Kraft over to Hannah in the corner. Hannah loses the ball, gonna go back the other way. Rice trying to drive in on Thompson. We'll look for the layup, and it's good. A little momentum going to Papillion-La Vista now. Makes it a 3-possession ball game. Getting to under 2 minutes left to go here in this first half. DePrima looking to drive in an open lane. She gets blocked, and the ball goes out of bounds. Bryn Sargent, a 5'7" senior, able to get her first block of the night. We'll see Jenna Holscher check out of the ball game for Emily Landsman. Hannah, got to give it off quick and get out to Sikora. DePrima, trying to find her options. Got to get somebody to cut it out to. Going to give it to Thompson. Thompson can't find the open lane. Kick it out. Open three to Prima, and it's in! Adriana DePrima, 18 points in the first half. What a story for her tonight. Landsman, gonna give it out to Fitzgerald, almost lost it away, gonna go the other way. Hannah loses the ball out of bounds. Almost had a wide open opportunity to the net. But it'll stay the Monarchs' way. 10-point lead getting close to just a minute left to go here in this first half. A quick one we've seen here. Warriors trying to continue their momentum. Sargent driving in on to Prima to kick it out. Rice looking for the open three, and it's good. No good, excuse me. Rice has really flattened out from beyond the arc so far in this second quarter. Made 3 of 3 in the first quarter, has not made 1 in the second. The Prima Great cut over to Livy Kraft. Almost got a turnover, and they'll call a jump ball, and it'll go the Monarchs' way. Just 44 seconds left to go here in this first half. Chance for 2, at most 3 possessions. You see Stella Mingy check into the ball game for the Warriors. And Fitzgerald will give it off to Rice. No, she'll keep it herself. Drive in, gonna kick it out. Open 3, Emma Strozman. Jenna Holscher. No good. Adriana Primo will bring it back the other way. Hannah, gonna slow it down, maybe look for the final shot. Doesn't want the pick. She'll look to work on Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald keeping someone to the press. 12 seconds left to go. Gonna get out for Prima. Not much time to find a shot. Almost an over and under. 5 seconds left. Get it off to Prima. She's gonna get out Sakura. Gotta find something. They'll call a foul. 0 ticks left on the clock up here. We have about a 0.5 of a second up here. The foul. See how much time you want to call it left.
Little interesting fact about this last possession, just in general. Fastest that a human has ever been able to shoot a basketball was 0.4 seconds. Knowing that, about 2 seconds left.
So give it off about 2 seconds. Thought we had 0.5 up here. See what they want to do. Hannah can't find the toss. Going to give it off to DePrima. She's got an open pass and won't get the opportunity. And a big swing for the Warriors here in this second quarter. They lead 32-22 as we'll take a break at halftime. And we're back here at Westside High School. 32-22 in favor of Westside to start off this Tuesday night doubleheader. And a really slow, we talked about this in the first half, a really slow first quarter for the Warriors. But then an 18-7 run in that second quarter. I mean, they had as much as a 10-0 run about 5 minutes into that one. But I mean, just an amazing bounce back in that second quarter to really, take over this game somewhat.
Yeah, and if someone just joined us from the second quarter on, you'd find it a little bit surprising that the Warriors are down. A lot of their shots are falling. A lot of those difficult layups, those are falling as well. Unfortunately, for Papillion-La Vista, the Warriors are just controlling the tempo at the moment, like I said earlier in the second quarter.
Now we talk for Papillion-La Vista. I mean, Brooklyn Rice really doing most of the heavy work. She's got 2 threes, a 3 at 2, or a layup and an and one. And then for the Warriors tonight, Adriana DePrima. We got to get checked back on the numbers. She's getting close to her career high, 18 points on the night. And she has been over half this Warriors offense. It's really just taken over this game, both from beyond the arc as well as in the paint.
I was thinking about this a little bit, but at this current moment in time, 18 points, if she gets a little more, you might have to start calling her a drain on a Suprema.
We can call it that every night we want to. Man, Cade Martin up here with the puns. And we'll get ready for the second half of this one. Coach Sisk over Papillion-La Vista really working to get his team back on the right track after some tough losses so far this season. Of course, a really strong effort up against Fremont, which was somewhat of that big force to whether this team could possibly be in the top 10. They've lingered around there, and so have the Warriors so far this season. But really a big statement win for both of these teams to really help them out, where they want to go in the rankings, plus when we get down to districts here in just about a month. Monarchs will start off with the ball to start out this second half and look to erase a 10-point deficit. Excuse me, it'll be the Warriors. Thought we had Papillion-La Vista able to get this one.
It's time for the second half.
Caitlin Hanna gonna start it off here in the second half. Only 2 points on the night, does have an assist. DePrima trying to feed it into Sealer. She's got to try to get a long pass over to Sakura. She won't want to post up. Going to give it out to Libby Kraft. Kraft with the three. Second three of the night. And she's got 6 points. Great start from the Warriors to start off this second half. Fitzgerald going to get off to Rice. Can she answer back? Fitzgerald doesn't want the corner three. She'll look to slow it down. We'll give it off to Holscher. And over to Rice. Papillion-La Vista trying to get a lot of momentum this second half. Will need it, and she'll force a foul. They'll put it on Ruby Sakura, her second foul of the night. And Rice will shoot 2. 2 for 2 tonight, and she misses that one. Rice coming into that is 77% free throw shooter. And she goes 2 for 2 tonight, but a rebound. Fitzgerald will get it back and look to slow down. Get out to Rice. She'll drive in. Kick it out. Open three. Ryan is no good. Back iron. And Hannah will bring it back the other way. 13-point lead for the Warriors. And a great cut over to Adriana DePrima. Look for the layup. And one! Adriana DePrima. 20 points, looking for 21, and that is a career high. 72% free throw shooter, and she puts it home. And a 16-point lead for the Warriors. And this game, after a really slow start, An 8-0 run for Papillion has flipped the other way as DePrima gets a steal and forces a foul. They'll put that foul on Sarah Carlson. Hannah, get out to Lydia Kraft. Wide open three. Back iron, no good. Go back the other way. Big missed opportunity there, but another ball will go out of bounds and a turnover. And coach just wants a timeout. Minute and a half into this second half. The Warriors been piling it on after a very strong second quarter.
I mean, it's a little harrowing for Monarch fans at the moment. Down 16 when you were up by 6 at one point, going back and forth. Coming back into this, it's not looking very good for Papillion-La Vista.
A really slow second half to start it off. I know we're only a minute and a half into this, but if Papillion-La Vista really wants to make this a game, they gotta flip the script right now. So Adriana DePrima, a career high 21 points here, and we still got 14 and a half minutes left to go. DePrima, long pass over to Libby Kraft. Hannah, looking to drive an open lane, great pass. Siebel won't be able to get it, and they'll call Sakura with the travel. Siebler has somewhat had a troubling night. All the rest of the Warriors' offense has been spectacular. We've talked about Siebler so far this season. Of course, a volleyball commit to Montana State. She's really wanted to work so far this season, really on her shooting ability and defensive ability in the paint. Of course, with some of the lack of height for this team, she's really had to work towards more of a forward position than somewhat of a guard. Fitzgerald gonna give it off. Look to work it around. Ryan's trying to work on Sakura. She'll step back in, look for the layup. It's up and in. And Ryan having a strong night herself, 9 points and 2 assists.
That's what the professionals call great defense, but just better offense.
And great defense right there from the Monarchs. And try to bring it back around, 4 more points. Hannah won't be able to get it. Ryan looking for the layup. And no good again. Second chance points, looking for the third try. And she'll force a foul to Ruby Sakura. Fans here did not like it. We'll call it on the floor. And Sakura's third of the night. The Warriors have 2 girls in foul trouble. Rice looking to the top of the key. Ryan get out to Fitzgerald. Won't want the jumper. She'll try to drive in. Kick it back out. Ball almost goes out of bounds. Kick it back the other way. Ryan, 2-step layup, no good. And Sakura with the rebound. Warriors will move the ball quickly out the court. Hannah, great cut, great pass over to Siebler. Jumper, no good. That'll be another foul on Ruby Sakura. Excuse me, they'll call that the other way. They'll call that on number 40, Caitlin Ryan. She's got herself 3 fouls in the night. 3 different players here with 3 fouls. Siebler, Ryan, and Sakura. Papillion-La Vista is going to need Ryan if they want to come back in this one. They count another foul on the floor as Ruby Sakura goes down. This one will be on the senior Bryn Sargent. They get 4 fouls here in the second half for the Monarchs. And Sargent's first. Got to give it off. Ruby Sakura looking for the layup. No good. Ryan will bring it back the other way. 3-on-1 opportunity. Layup from Osher is no good. Ball go back out. And Papillion-La Vista will get the rebound. Fitzgerald will force a foul to Prima. Try to jab at one. Won't be able to get that one. And DePrima, that's her first of the night. Holscher trying to find something in. Going to give it off in the corner to Sargent. Papillion-La Vista this season has really worked around the perimeter. Has allowed Caitlin Ryan to be the main force in the paint. There'll be a foul on the floor. They'll call it on to Prima, her second. Still a 14-point lead with headed under almost a halfway mark here in this third quarter. They'll call 3 straight fouls. This one will be on Livy Kraft. And somewhat of messy defense here on this drive.
You know, when I played, coaches often told you to foul to make sure you get in that bonus range. But I think 5 fouls in 4 minutes, that's a little too much.
Fitzgerald, long 3. And she puts another one home. Fitzgerald tonight, her second 3. And she's missed 4. Hannah over to the left corner. Double team. Got to work it around. Get off. Libby Kraft don't want to make it a wide open to her, but she misses off the front iron. Rice looking to drive in. Can't find an open lane. Ryan, 3, and it's good. Makes it a 3-possession game. And Monarchs exactly what they needed, getting back close in this one. And will force the turnover. Holscher. Fitzgerald in the corner, going to give out to Ryan. Gerald fakes the 3 and to kick it back in the corner. Holscher, 3, no good. Another rebound will go to Papillion-La Vista, and they'll force a foul. What an offensive possession for Papillion-La Vista, but somewhat of a defensive breakdown these last 2 minutes for the Warriors. It'll be Caitlin Hannah's first foul of the night. And they'll give it out to Fitzgerald. Ryan give it out to Rice. She'll look to drive in an open lane. Can't find it. Holscher. Ryan, wide open 3. Rings out, no good. And Hannah will bring it back the other way as we hit the 3-minute mark here in this third quarter. Hannah kicks out Adriana Prima, looking for 24, and it's in! Rings out the front iron off the glass and in. And 24 points on the night for the Prima. Layup back the other way. Keeps it out of 3-possession ball game. Kraft, get up to Hannah. She has an open lane, looking to drive in. She'll cut it back out. Siebler, open 3, top of the key, no good. Ryan, trying to find a lane, won't be able to find it. Rice, right wing, trying to drive in the paint, and there'll be a foul on the floor. It'll be Sikora's 4th. We'll see Channing Thompson coming to the ballgame for Sikora. As we see Maggie Vasha coming to the ballgame for Ryan. LA Landsman will check in for Jenna Holscher. Rice 2 for 4 at the charity strike tonight. And her first shot is up and good. Of course, Papillion-La Vista in the bonus. And Rice looks to finish off the 1-and-1. And she'll make the second one. Cuts it down to a 7-point ball game. Not quite as comfortable as the Warriors were just a couple minutes ago. Thompson, give it out to Prima. Got to get the ball past half court. Goes from the 10-second call, just barely able to get it over. Double team, long errant pass. Somehow gets over to Libby Kraft. She'll look for the layup, up and in. A chaotic possession there, but nonetheless, it's 2 points.
In basketball, and practically in any game, when there's 2 people on you, there's always 1 person open.
Ball will be tipped out of bounds off of Maddie Siebler. And we're inching under. 1:45 left to go.
In the game for the first time tonight for the Warriors, number 22, Prima.
We'll see Bree Bell checking to the ball game for Maddie Siebler. Trying to get some open time to get into the later of the ball game. Vasha, layup, no good. And there'll be a travel on Bree Bell. Saw both the Prima and Bell try to go for that one. And another possibly costly turnover. Papillion-La Vista can pounce on it. Fitzgerald trying to work it around. She'll drive in on Kraft. Kick it out to the corner to Landsman. Fitzgerald, great cut from Vasha. Layup, no good. The Prima, got to slow it down. Errant pass. It's going to stay to Livy Kraft. Saw Bree Bell fall on the other end. Hannah will look to slow it down. Almost had an open three. She'll look to drive in. 2-step, and it's in. Caitlin Hannah, little shimmy shake and puts it in. And we had under a minute left to go here in this third quarter. Vasha will give it up to Sargent. She looks for the three, no good. She'll try to get her own rebound, but they'll call a foul. The Sargent leaves second on the night. And we'll see a couple of changes. See Hosher, Ryan, Holloway, and Carlson into the ball game. Excuse me, Rice into the ball game. You see Bree Bell check into the ball game for Siebler with under a minute left to go. Hannah. Give it out to Chaney Thompson. Probably 2 possessions left in this third quarter. Livy Kraft in the corner, get it back over to Chaney Thompson. Kraft doesn't want the three, give it off to Siebler. And it'll be a foul on Rice in the paint. The Monarchs' 6th of the second half. The Warriors are 1 away from the bonus. 27 seconds left to go. Hannah trying to find some kind of cut. Can't find anybody. Looking for it close to the time. Aaron pass will go the other way. Rice almost loses it, but she'll just bring it back for the Monarchs. She'll look to drive in on Hannah. 2-step layup is up and no good. Warriors, time for one final possession. 12 seconds left to go, make it 10. DePrima, open three, no good. Rebound, go to Hannah. She got 6 seconds left, trying to go for a layup, and it's up and in. 2 seconds, looking for the long pass. Quarter to Carlson, looking for the three, no good. Great rebound from Caitlin Hannah, and puts a backside layup up and in to end off this third quarter. And the Warriors keeping their distance in this one.
Yeah, a little scary at the start towards the middle, but really brought their momentum back.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a really quick first and second quarters. This third quarter seems to kind of draw out a little bit. Kind of 2 different possessions that we wanted to see there. A really quick effort for the Warriors to start it off in the third, and then we saw around that 6-minute mark to about 4-minute mark, the Monarchs were pulling back a little bit of that when they got it down to a 3-point or a 3-score ball game. But late in that third quarter, Warriors able to pounce on some opportunities and some turnovers from Papillion-La Vista, and they keep their distance at a 13-point lead. Just seconds away from a fourth quarter in this one. Great ball game to see. Don't tune anywhere. We'll get you started for fourth quarter action. Fitzgerald will start it off for the Monarchs. Need some big points here early. They want to make this one a case. Holscher looking to drive in on Siebler. Loses the ball. Great steal from Caitlin Hannah. Pass out. Give it out to Siebler. Almost loses the ball. Going to be a tip. They'll give it off to Hannah. Looking to slow it down. Clark looking to drive up a play. A little bit of a press on defense. Hannah gonna give out to Prima. Looking to maybe choose some clock. Libby Kraft, open corner three, no good. Rebound will go to Cheney Thompson. Go back the other way to Fitzgerald on a tip. Carlson looking for a corner three, and no good. Hannah will slow it down for the Warriors, averaging 6.6 points per game. Has got 6 here tonight. Libby Kraft in the corner, gonna give out to Cheney Thompson in the paint. Pass essentially back to herself. The Prima trying to get out to Hannah. We talked about Hannah so far this season. Didn't start a ton last year, but has really been the floor general for the Warriors so far. Long pass to the corner, Libby Kraft. Wide open three, and no good. Cheney Thompson will get another rebound. The Warriors will look to keep this possession going. Cheney Thompson's floater is off the mark, no good. And Caitlin Ryan will try to push the ball back up the court. Ryan, corner to Holscher. Excuse me, that's going to be Holloway. And Holloway pushes it out of bounds. And we've talked about Hannah so far this season. You know, after losing a lot of seniors, after losing one of the best floor generals that we've ever seen at Westside in Ella Wedegren, Caitlin Hannah has had the job of kind of that Ella Wedegren, that point guard position in her hands so far this season. And we've talked to Clark somewhat, and he feels, you know, she's really grown into this position as a leader overall. She's been in the part of this team since her freshman season, and she's really been growing these last 2 years. Caitlin Ryan's first free throw is up and good as the Monarchs stay in the bonus. Looking to finish off the 1-and-1. Ryan misses the other one, but it's a rebound to the Monarchs. Sargent looking up to Hannah. Excuse me, Ryan. The wide open lane for a layup. The 10-point ball game. 6 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter. Hannah looking to work around under the net. Gonna give it out to Prima. Long pass over to Sieber. Won't get the and one, but will force a foul. And we'll move to the charity strike. Something that we saw, I guess, going back to Millard South again, that full court press that they were able to push defensively was really the biggest factor that we've seen Westside, you know, not being able to adjust to. And Papillion-La Vista trying to do somewhat of the same here, hasn't quite had the same success because they really haven't been as agile or really as aggressive. Siebler, 41% from the charity strike as she looks for the second. And she'll make both of them. 12-point lead. Warriors just continuing to keep their distance every time the Monarchs try to make this one a game. Warriors able to push it back the other way. Great defensive possession from Caitlin Hannah. Warriors able to bring it back. Siebler. Long pass over to Hannah. It's a wide open right side of the floor. She'll work it back around. Lost her footing. Got to give it off. And Clark will call timeout. 5:21 left in this one. Westside up 12 when we come back. .521 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Warriors trying to keep their distance up against Papillion-La Vista. Strong defensive set right here. Give off to Libby Kraft. And almost force a turnaround, and they will. Caitlin Ryan, fast break, looking for 2 points. Almost loses her footing, barely able to put it in. Hannah Give it off to Siebler. Warriors really trying to work out of this full court press. Papillion-La Vista hasn't been as aggressive as we've seen teams in the past. Cheney Thompson, corner three, no good. Rebound will go to Siebler. She'll look for the layup, no good. Go back the other way. Holscher, long pass over to Sargent. She'll look for the layup, and it's no good. Hannah will get the rebound, looking for a double team. Got to get it out of there. We'll throw it off the backboard, excuse me. Couldn't get that one right. We'll see where they want to call it. And it'll stay to Papillion-La Vista. Clark wanted a tip, but it'll stay Papillion-La Vista's way. 10-point lead for the Warriors. 4:32 left to go. Sargent, kick it out to Holscher. She'll look to drive on Siebler. Fitzgerald. Holscher looking to work around the perimeter. Great cut. Give it out to Holscher in the corner, and it's blocked from Siebler. Ball will go out of bounds, and it'll stay to the Monarchs. What a great block from Siebler. Another tip, ball go out of bounds once again. As we're getting close to the halfway mark here in this fourth quarter. Set the ball up in the right corner. Going to be a long pass over to Fitzgerald. And she'll look to find her play. Sargent over to Fitzgerald, wants the open three, and no good. Fitzgerald has really struggled in this second half from beyond the arc, has had really good looks, but has just barely missed some. Libby Kraft almost had a wide open three. She doesn't want to take it. Get it out to Siebler. Ball will go out of bounds, and it'll stay to the Warriors. We'll see Ruby Sikora checking the ball game for Cheney Thompson. And we'll see Sargent checking the ball game for Maggie Vasha. Hannah. There'll be a foul, offensive foul on Adriana DePrima. Clark didn't like it, not quite what we saw there. Thought there might have been a push. They'll call that again. That's actually going to be on Ruby Sikora. Not quite sure what we saw there, but she fouls out of the ballgame. Ryan trying to work around. Will kick it out to Fitzgerald. Wide open three in the corner, and it's no good. Front iron. Who's it tipped off of? It'll be off of Cheney Thompson. Will stay to the Monarchs. Sikora will end the night with 4 points and 2 rebounds. And Fitzgerald wide open lane and puts 2 points up, and it's an 8-point ball game. Hannah. Give it out to Siebler. Papillion-La Vista trying to be a little more aggressive on defense. Hannah look to slow down, maybe chew some clock. Both teams in the bonus with about 3 minutes left to go. Thompson trying to work it around, and it'll be a foul. They'll call the foul on Rice. Her second of the night. The Warriors are 1 away from the double bonus. Cheney Thompson this season, 45% from the charity strike. Ball will go out of bounds. It'll stay to the Warriors. Siebler able to work out of some boxing out from Vasha, and will tip it off of Vasha. Be another turnover for Papillion-La Vista. It's been costly so far for them. Siebler will give it off to Hannah, looking to slow it down. Hannah can't find the cut from Kraft. Try to keep her feet. DePrima. Long pass as it tipped off of Fitzgerald. It won't be. Yeah. Other ref in the corner saw that it was tipped out of Fitzgerald because Clark was talking about it. And it'll stay the Warriors' way. Hannah gonna be double teamed. She's been able to work out of this so far this season. Ball goes out of bounds. But it'll stay to the Warriors. Monarchs desperately need a turnover.
And the Warriors desperately need to just get open for Hannah. She's been having to dribble so much.
She's had a good job so far this season. Got to get open for her. Will force a screen. She'll be on the floor, get it off to Libby Kraft, who they call it on. And Clark will call a timeout. Unhappy with the offensive movement for the Warriors, as Hannah has it about to do just about all these last 2 minutes. 2:44 left in this one. 8-point lead for the Warriors. Of course, this one not over, but the Warriors, a good solid streak and going, can make this one out of reach. So as we head closer to the end of this first ball game for the girls, of course, so far this week, this game originally scheduled for last Friday, a little bit of slow in the metro area. Push this game to Tuesday. Of course, going on right now, you guys can also check out the Westside versus Gretna swim meet going on westsidewire.net, as well as the Westside Wired YouTube channel. For the Warriors, with an 8-point lead, trying to keep it going and keep their 3-game win streak alive. Of course, after the conclusion of this one, we'll get you guys the Dunkin Trivia Question of the night, and then we'll head to the boys event. In the top 10 matchup, number 8 Westside going up against number 6 Papillion-La Vista. Warriors trying to keep it going here. Pass will go over to Hannah. Going to be double teamed again. Got to get it out. And they'll force a foul. Looks like it'll be on Jenna Holscher. And Hannah will go to the line. We'll see Vasha check out of the ball game for Sargent. Want to check that. This is a single bonus shot, 1-and-1, and she misses the first one. One more foul for either team. They'll be in the double bonus. Hannah almost able to get it away, and Rice will try to drive in. 2.5 left to go. Fitzgerald, corner 3, no good. And like we said, she has just struggled. Papillion-La Vista able to keep it back. Holscher trying to find a play, doesn't have her feet, gonna give it out to Fitzgerald. 2:16 left to go, almost loses it. Fitzgerald getting it off to Rice. Still an 8-point game, don't need a 3 right now. But time ticking down, gotta get a quick possession. Fitzgerald looking to drive in, 2-step floater is no good. Ball go back the other way. Hannah will force the jump ball. It'll go the Warriors' way. Of course, possession arrow for the rest of this fourth quarter is in favor of the Warriors. One foul on either side will move both teams into the double bonus. Hannah trying to work around to get out to Siebler. Siebler looking to slow it down, will give it out to DePrima. Thompson doesn't want the 3, give out to DePrima. Look to choose some clock. Getting close to 1.5 left to go. Thompson. Give it out to DePrima. Corner, Libby Kraft. She tries to drive in, will force a foul. And she'll go to the line. Will shoot 2 shots. 1:28 left to go. Kraft this season. 33% from the free throw line. And she makes the first one. We'll see Landsman checking at the ball game for Bryn Sargent. Shot right here. And it's no good. Stays a 9-point game. Papillion-La Vista needs 3 threes to be able to tie this ball game up. Holscher in the corner. Give it off to Landsman, excuse me, gonna get out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gonna try to drive in the corner to Landsman. Fitzgerald, Papillion-La Vista needs to get his shot off. Rice looking for an open 3, and it's no good. Rebound, and they'll call a foul on Cheney Thompson on the floor, and that will move Papillion-La Vista to the double bonus. Ryan's gonna get 2 shots. She's 75% from the free throw line this season. Needs two here. First shot is no good. As we see Bryn Sargent check back into the ball game for Landsman. Needs to make it a shot here. Make it an 8-point game, and she makes it. 1:02 left to go. Time to start fouling for the Monarchs. Good move there by Sisk as Ryan's checking into the ball game looking for a foul. Unable to foul so far. Cheney Thompson going to give it out to DePrima. Not sure why they haven't seen a foul yet. Siebler going to kick it out. Looking to drain some clock. Papillion-La Vista still has not fouled, down 8. Warriors just moving around. Ball's going to go out of bounds. And it'll be off of Rice. Really surprised Sisk has not wanted a foul so far for the Warriors. Hannah still working around. Monarchs still have not fouled as time ticks away with just about 30 seconds left. Siebler just going to work it out, and they'll finally get the foul. They'll put the foul on Fitzgerald. That's her second of the night, and Hannah. 79% free throw shooter, one of the best in the state. And her first shot is up and in. .29 seconds left to go in this one. Hannah's second shot might ice it. And no good. Keeps it a 9-score game. Need 3 threes. Ryan trying to drive in. We'll kick it out to Rice. Ball stays in bounds, but Hannah will force the turnover and slow it down once again. And we'll look to drain the clock on this one. Thompson over to DePrima, and the Warriors. Papillion-La Vista will force a foul. The Westside will move on to 4 straight wins here as we head into 2021. DePrima's first shot is good. But what a night for Adriana DePrima. The second shot is made here. And it is 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. A career high for Adriana DePrima. And the Warriors will come home victorious in this first game of this doubleheader here tonight. Westside girls 53, Monarchs 42. Big win for the Warriors. They'll look to continue their streak later this week on Thursday as they go up against Omaha Marion at Marion. Great first outing for the Warriors. And Kate, I mean, what'd you see in that one for the Warriors here tonight?
I mean, mainly it was just Papillion-La Vista's lack of being able to stop. Being able to stop Adriana DePrima. Being able for her, especially being able for her to make those shots, make those difficult shots, make those three-pointers, make consistent shots. That was what propelled the Warriors. At one point, practically the entire Warriors offense was exclusively her, minus like 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, we haven't really seen that a lot this year. I mean, Adriana DePrima has been consistent getting herself 6, 7, 8 points, but she's never really been that offensive firepower that we've seen so far this season. Of course, once again, Warriors take down Papillion-La Vista 53-42. We're going to take a break. When we come back, for you guys, the Dunkin Trivia Question of the night, and then we'll get you guys closer to tip for the boys, number 8, number 6, when we come back. Good evening, folks. We are here at Westside High School as the number 8 Westside Warriors are going up against the number 6 Papillion-La Vista Monarchs. We had a great girls game just finished just a moment ago. My name is Jaden Taylor. Alongside me tonight, Cade Martin. We got a great matchup. 2 top 10 teams that have not won a single top 10 matchup so far this season.
Yeah, so by that standard, one's got to win unless it's a draw, which is impossible.
Going to be a great game we're going to see on both sides. So what we're going to see for the schedules for the Warriors so far this season, we talked about that really big struggle up against top 10 teams. We saw that it started off a really big win up against Columbus, then a big loss up against Miller North, even though they had a 5-point lead going in that second quarter. Throughout this rest of the season, they've really been able to pounce on lower teams. They've really struggled up against top teams. Lincoln Southeast, a team that was a top 10 team, dropped a couple spots, lost out of the top 10 now. But then Creighton Prep in the Metro Conference tournament as well. And then a couple wins. They're on a 4-game winning streak right now, looking to continue that going into this matchup up against Papillion-La Vista. So with that, we're going to look at the standings now from the Omaha World Herald. The Warriors, everything in the top 6 or so has really been somewhat the same so far this season. We've seen Miller North, we've seen Bell West, we've seen Prep, we've seen Central, we've seen Pius. And Papillion-La Vista South, and the West Side have kind of been some teams that have jumped around in the standings a little bit. Of course, the Warriors jumped up another spot this week with 2 wins over the weekend. But there's a lot of parity going into those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots. What do you feel some of these teams need to really push over the edge and show that they're really a state competing team this year? I mean,
really, it's just got to be down to defense. Defense is really, it wins championships. Defense is the most important part. It's the bedrock. It's the foundation of something to build. If you don't have a good defense, but you have a good offense, you're going to get scored a lot of points on. If you have a good defense, but you don't have a good offense, you're not going to score many points. So being able to find a middle ground, but also having a very solid defense, that's really key going forward.
Yeah, both of those setups. I mean, we talk about Miller North and Bell West so much. Really any guy throughout the entirety of Nebraska high school sports is going to look at these two teams and see how well they've done so far this season. It's really been a struggle for teams to be able to get on top of them, be able to get some momentum. And really, the only team we've seen that's been able to get close to one another is each other and about Central and Pratt. That's really all we've seen so far this season. So it's going to be a really hard task to be able to go up against those top 2 teams and take them down once it comes playoff time. So looking at the stats here tonight, we're seeing Papillion-La Vista and Omaha Westside, comparatively similar teams when it comes on the stat sheet. The style of offense, a little bit different from what you want to see. Of course, Jim assignments working a little bit of a different kind of offense that we've seen from years past. And they still have it somewhat of a smaller type team than we've seen up against some of the taller teams that have 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" guys. But the Warriors averaging 65.5 points per game to Papillion-La Vista South, or Papillion-La Vista 62.2. But here's really the big factor that we want to see for both games: rebounding. We've talked about that. Good defense, good mobility in the paint ends up transitioning to good offense on what either side you're going to see. Warriors 31.5 rebounds so far this season, averaging per game. Papillion-La Vista 27.1. A little bit surprisingly, an even amount somewhat we've seen as the size between these two teams. It's really going to become down to who's more aggressive in the paint when we want it.
Yeah, especially being able to just get inside the paint, being able to use your big body, use your muscles, get out, pull it out, kick it out. Being able to make those open spaces, being able to make open plays for your teammates, that's going to be very crucial for both of these teams.
Yeah, we talked about that as well. A late insert into this match. We thought Logan Wilson would be the center, somewhat starting forward. Just recently, Derek Porter and Jim Simons are going to put in Tate Oddbody. And going up against Tate Oddbody tonight, we're going to see Cal Ingerson, the Papillion-La Vista athlete of the night for the Monarchs. And Ingerson, what a great season he has been having, averaging 14.3 points per game, 45% three-point percentage, and a guy that's 6'6", it's really hard to find that great ability from beyond the arc. And we're also seeing another 4.7 rebounds per game, somewhat lower of a guy that you want to see that's mainly been their shooting for, but has been really physical up against the top guys. We've seen them go up against some of the teams this season, like going up against Hunter Sallis, going up against Jason Green and Miller North. Ingerson was able to keep someone around in those games, even though they weren't able to win those games. So for the Warriors tonight, for the Athlete of the Week, Athlete of the Game for the Warriors tonight, we're going to see Chandler Meeks, and what an output he has had these last couple games. Last season he was really mainly a defensive guy. He had that role. He's really stepped into a new role this season.
Yeah, especially with the leave of Jaden Booth, of PJ Nagambi, being able to just step into that offensive role after playing such a heavy defensive role, like you said, being able to play such solid defense continuously, even through this year, but also maintaining that energy through the offensive end. That's very key for this Warriors offense.
Yeah, Meeks so far, just in the last 5 games alone, averaging 16.5 points per game, 47.8% from beyond the arc. What an amazing opportunities he's had. Somewhat up against some lower teams, but he's had a great output these last 4 events. And then 50% from the field. He's shooting down 1 of his every 2 shots. And I think that really comes down to, like you were saying, that defense turns into offense. His aggressive defensive style has allowed him to get really wide open angles, has allowed him to get really aggressive up in the paint. So with that, we're going to take a quick break. We're about 6.5 minutes away from tip in this one. And when we come back, we're going to get to you the Dunkin Trivia Question of the game and get you guys closer to the tip. As we look at our Dunkin Trivia Question of the night, a great win for the girls just a moment ago. Our question tonight, in 2018, the Westside girls basketball team won the Class A state championship. What player on that team won the Nebraska Gatorade Girls Basketball Player of the Year award? Once again, in 2018, Westside girls basketball team won the Class A state championship for the third time in its history. What player on that team won the Nebraska Gatorade Girls Basketball Player of the Year? Another banner up here in the main gym at Westside. And we're going to get you guys to the starting lineups here tonight. Of course, a late switch for the Warriors. We're going to see Tate Oddbody back in. We saw a little bit of an ankle injury. He's been limited these last few games. Was fully out up against Omaha South. But it's going to be back in this one. We're going to see Chandler Meeks at the point guard position. Payson Gillespie at the shooting guard. Caleb Benning at another shooting guard position. We're going to see Reggie Thomas working the shooting forward. And at the other shooting forward position, we're going to see Tate Oddbody. So on the other side of the ball, for the Papillion-La Vista, at the point guard position, Joey Hylock, a guy you don't want to see open around the perimeter. At the shooting guard position, we're going to see Aiden Graham and Chase Lett. Chase Lett, a powerful senior for these Monarchs these past couple of seasons. And then at the shooting forward position, we're going to see Luke Lindenmeyer and Kyle Ingwerson. We're just a minute away from tip here at Westside High School. Top 10 matchup. Gonna be a great night. We'll be back right after this.
By students, athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, ethnic, sexist, or other intimidating comments or actions directed at officials, students, athletes, coaches, or team representatives are not tolerated and are grounds for removal from the facility. Thank you for your cooperation and good luck to both teams. It's time to meet the starting lineups. First, the visiting Monarchs from Papillion-La Vista. Starting out the 6'3" senior, number 4, Aiden Graham. At guard, 6'2" senior, number 20, Joey Hylock. In the middle, 6'6" junior, number 24, Kyle Ingwerson. At court, 6'3" senior, number 30, Chase Lett. And at guard, 6'4" junior, number 44, Luke Lindenmeyer. The Monarchs are coached by head coach Dan Moore, assisted by Rich Elders, Andre Watts, Trey Moore, Dan Harmon, Russ Jorside, Ryan Sherlock, and Joshua Raposa.
And this one is underway. Student section here with the first night. 50 students allowed, and we're underway. Joey Hylock going to give it off to Aiden Graham. Graham trying to work on Benning. Very young team for the Warriors this season compared to a very experienced one in Papillion-La Vista. Ingerson and one to start it off for the Monarchs. And great push, and that's what Ingerson has done. Excuse me, check that. Luke Lindenmeyer has done all season. He plays. There was also a lineman in football for the Monarchs this past fall. Has been using that agility here on the basketball court. 3-point play, not going to make it, and Meeks will look to start it off for the offense for the Warriors. Meeks going to work it off to Advati, trying to get a little bit of a mismatch. Thomas working in, looking for the layup, won't get the and one, but will force a foul.
Both teams already showing off that they're not afraid to drive into that hoop.
So we're going to see a lot tonight. We've talked about this so much here at Westside, but the smaller court that we've seen here comparatively to other teams throughout the Metro and throughout Nebraska as a whole, you just see a lot faster of an offensive style than you'll see in other areas. That's what it allows for so many good games and so many fast-paced ones. Reggie Thomas looking to tie this one up, and he misses the second one. Thomas this season has somewhat struggled on his second chance free throws, which is somewhat of an odd stat that we see, only 30%. Long pass, gonna make it a turnover. Benning's gonna try to bring it back up. Pass over on body, looking to drive in, looking for the layup, and it's up and in off the glass. And Westside takes an early 1-point lead. Aiden Graham trying to work in. Beautiful move and blocked. Reggie Thomas says no. Gillespie other way, no good.
You gotta
pass
make
the other way, long pass. Chase Lett trying to work on Meeks. Meeks knows one of the best defensive players in this state and shows it right there. Forces a turnover, and it's Warrior basketball. Meeks, such a composed guy. It's not likely to get into his head. He works so much well on his mental game. It's really when we talk to him, it's really what he sees as a success. No guy's going to get into his head. Layup from Advati is no good. Lett going to try to bring it back up. It's been a fast-paced first minute and a half, only a 3-2 ball game. High lock in the corner, over to Aiden Graham. Graham trying to find possibly Lindenmeyer to post up, can't give it to him. High lock at the top of the key. High lock trying to drive in. Little floater is up and good. And Thomas trying to bring it back up quickly. Meeks. Great move, almost lost the ball. Trying to find somebody to lay up and no good. Rebound go to Lindenmeyer. Ingerson trying to work on Payson Gillespie. Lett, Ingerson in the corner. Trying to post up, Lett. Trying to drive in. And it's blocked from Payson Gillespie. And Gillespie with the rebound himself. Working it quick around. Thomas. Advati. Warriors this season averaging 13.3 assists a game. Thomas, corner three, no good. And it's really due to that quick ball move the Warriors have been having. They've not been known as a selfish team. We've seen great performances from Meeks, Thomas, Advati, Gillespie. We've seen it from all around. Graham trying to drive in, can't find anything. Ingerson out of the left wing. Open lane, layup, floater is no good. Meeks gonna give it off to Thomas. Trying to find a pick and roll, won't be able to work with it. Benning Advati, looking for an open lane, easy layup, And they'll call an offensive foul. And the charge. Joey high-locking, great position to make that one go the other way. And we see Logan Wilson coming to the ball game. We talked to the trainers coming into this one for maybe Advati's time availability in this game. They really just want to see his ability just continue to do what he normally does. If he sees him lingering off a little bit, they might want to limit his playing time. Ball almost goes out of bounds off a Lett. Highlock will try to keep it back in. Working on Benning. This defensive setup for the Warriors has worked really well. And we're sinking it off to Graham. Open jumper, no good. Really wide open opportunity for Graham, unable to put it down. Graham putting up 14.4 points a game. Other than Ingerson, has really been the offensive firepower for this team. A big thing to see for Papillion-La Vista is when this team could possibly get in foul trouble. So far this season, they've really lacked a lot of depth. We'll see. Monarchs take an early timeout with 4:03 left to go in this first quarter. But going back to that, we've talked about this so far, this season with Papillion-La Vista. They've really lacked depth on the bench. Almost their entire their entire starting lineup is full of seniors, except Luke Lindenmeyer, but all upperclassmen with this team. And other than their starting five, they have no players on their bench with at least 10 minutes per game. It's been a great difference between their starters and their bench players. And the Warriors have really been known for their depth, especially as a younger team trying to get experience. They have over 8 guys with 9.5 minutes per game or more. Aiden Graham trying to work on Chandler Meeks. It's been a quick ball game back and forth. And Meeks, great work in defense again. Trying to work it around and force a turnover. Meeks will look to slow it down. We've talked about this season, ability to work well in transition. When the Warriors are able to keep their footing, they've been really dangerous. Payson Gillespie, 3 is way off, no good. A little bit starting to rust. Ingerson, Graham, corner 3, no good, back iron. Ball going out of bounds, who's it off? It's Thomas. It'll stay to the Monarchs. Of course, tonight, new protocols up to 50 students, priority going to seniors. And finally able to see Westside's Red Shield, also known as the best student section in the state, as Ingerson puts up 2 points and it's a 3-point ball game. Really low scoring affair so far, over 5 minutes into this one. And neither team has really been able to put up their normal first quarter point averages. Benning over to Meeks in the corner. Can't find much. Warriors really working around the perimeter, haven't seen much in the paint. Thomas trying to drive in and will force the foul. We talked about this kind of setup between these two teams. Neither team has won a single top 10 matchup, although both teams have played at least 3. Thomas this season, like we said, 60% from the charity strike, and he makes the first one. But Westside this season has played Millard North, Lincoln Southeast, and Creighton Prep. Millard North, they stayed very close, especially in that second quarter before somewhat of a meltdown in that third quarter. But Papillion-La Vista so far this season has been blown out by all of their top 10 opponents. Of course, they played Millard North twice, an 89-74 and 73-62 loss. Bell West, a huge loss just a couple weeks ago, 80-52, and then went up against Prep and got beaten by 12. Long pass in the corner, almost another turnover. Highlock over to Ingerson, long 3, back iron, no good. Rebound will stay to the Monarchs. Lett trying to drive in on Payson Gillespie. He'll look for the foul and get it. And we'll see Dom Rezek look to check into the ball game. He's at the table. Lett this season, 76% from the charity strike as he hits the first. 46% from the field for this Papillion-La Vista Monarchs team. They've been known for really working their open shots. Lett's second free throw is up and no good. Stays a 2-point ball game. Meeks over to Dom Rezek. Rezek trying to drive in. Was a starter for most of the season up until last outing when Caleb Benning got his first start of the year. Meeks ties it up with his first 2 points of the night. Meeks this season, just over the past 4 games, has jumped his average up over just under 4 points per game. He's at 12 and a half. Great pass over to Ingerson, and a great finish. Ingerson has started off strong with 4 points. Dom Rezak going to give it over to Logan Wilson. Wilson trying to drive in. Looking for off the glass and in. It's exactly what Simons has wanted him to have. That aggressive mentality, especially in the paint. A guy that's 6'6", you need to be able to tower over others. Aiden Graham out to Ingerson. Corner three. Back iron, no good. Rebound stays to Lindenmeyer. Lindenmeyer back out. Open three. And no good. Rebound will stay to the Monarchs once again. Thomas unable to get it. And Papillion-La Vista puts another 2 points home as we're under a minute left to go. Ball will go out of bounds off of Westside. And another costly turnover as we're going to see C.J. Mitchell checking the ball game. Caleb Benning will check out. Of course, C.J. Mitchell, brother of Sharif Mitchell over at Creighton. It's really been a big story for him. Only as a freshman has had considerable minutes as a part of this team. Shoe game for him has been somewhat of an important factor. And a block from Logan Wilson. Ball will go the other way. Under 40 seconds left to go. One, maybe two possessions left before the end of the first quarter. Simons wants to have his play, and I'll give it off to Mitchell. Of course, Mitchell this season has worked somewhat of a point guard position. He has the speed to do it. Under 20 seconds left to go. Warriors going to work for the final shot. Mitchell's going to work in. He's going to give it off to Thomas. 8 seconds left to go. Meeks trying to find something. 3 seconds. Floater, no good. Tip, second chance opportunity. Wilson won't be able to put it up. 11-9 in favor of Papillion-La Vista. And a strong first quarter. Back and forth in this one. Going to the back half of this one's going to be interesting.
I mean, interesting to say the least. Not many shots have gone off. Not many have been made, even that. If you were with us for the girls' game, this was kind of the same situation. Westside down 2 going into the second quarter. Maybe they can get that, that 10-0 stretch.
Yeah, big second quarter momentum boost. An 18-7 run in that second quarter. At one point, it was a 10-0 run 5 minutes in. And the Warriors really need something here. So going into the back half of this season, we're getting somewhat closer going into districts. Of course, this is a rematch of last year's A6 district final, as Westside was able to take that one home in considerable fashion and move on to their second state tournament opportunity in 2 years. Of course, the Warriors so far this season somewhat on that cusp of that 8-9 spot to be able to get into state, and wins like this up against top 10 teams are really important when it comes down to wildcard points. So Mitchell will start it off here in this second quarter. No switches on offense for the Warriors. Payson Gillespie wide open corner three, and he's off once again. Second chance, Meeks. That physical ability, doing it again. It's a tied ball game. Hylock throws it out of bounds, and it'll go the Warriors' way. Tie ball game at 11. Of course, both teams have really struggled from the offensive side of the ball, but it's really been back and forth. Meeks once again, physical in the paint. And he's got 6 points on the night. Aiden Graham going to get off to Lindenmeyer. He looks for the jumper. Off the glass, no good. He'll keep the rebound to himself. Tries to keep his feet, go over to Aiden Graham. Open three, no good. Rebound will go to the Monarchs once again. and they've been killing in the rebound game so far here in this first half. They'll call a foul on Reggie Thomas. Ingerson was trying to move around. We'll see Caleb Benning and Will Hubert check into the ball game, as well as Chase Lett. See Derek Buggy check back out. Joey Hylock, point guard for Papillion-La Vista, a 3-year varsity player, has had a really strong season at the point guard position, but really hasn't been known for his point efficiency. Graham gets it off the Lett, trying to work on Benning. Unable to find anything, looking to post up to Ingerson. And his layup's up and good, but turnover. Logan Wilson gives it away. Aiden Graham takes advantage of the opportunity, and it's back to a tie ball game. Mitchell trying to work in the corner. Benning trying to work back around. Mitchell, easy move, but doesn't get it home. Joey Hylock will bring it back the other way. Morris will try to slow it back down. Ingerson, long three, no good. Neither team has been able to put much from beyond the arc. Meeks, open lane, trying to drive in on Lett. Little spin move and flushes it home. Meeks, 6 points just here in this second quarter alone. Lett trying to drive in, and we'll call an offensive foul. And Westside will bring it back the other way as Tate Advati checks in for Logan Wilson. Warriors trying to work with some momentum here. Points off of turnovers have been really big for the Warriors so far this season. Caleb Benning topped the key three, no good. It's been somewhat of a big factor that Simons has wanted to work towards, being able to work well off of opponent's mistakes. They're able to take advantage of those. They're really able to work somewhat at the throat to their opponents. Hylock to give it off to Graham. Warriors still working a man defense. Hubert going to get it off to Hylock. He's working around, unable to find an open lane. Hylock, long pass over to Aiden Graham, looking for a three, and no good. Ball goes off of C.J. Mitchell, and it'll stay Monarch ball. We'll see Thomas come back in for him as Luke Lindenmeyer checks into the ball game for Will Hubert. Ingerson, give it out to Hylock. One of the setups that we've seen defensively, somewhat working up against Papillion-La Vista, is a little bit like we're seeing here. Aggressive man defense as Chase Lett forces a defensive foul. Gillespie's second, and Lett will get 2 shots. And Lett will miss his first. So far this season, 76% from the charity strike. You see Dom Rezac come to the ball game for Payson Gillespie. And a second is no good. Rebound will barely stay to the Warriors, and they'll bring it back up. Advati back to the ball game, working somewhat gingerly. Thomas giving off to Benning. Meeks trying to drive in. Will force an offensive foul. They'll call it on Meeks to try to work around. And Westside will work a little bit of a press. So that was on Chandler Meeks. Try to work around a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a push off
up working in the lane. Ingerson almost loses his footing and gives it off to Lindenmeyer. Lindenmeyer this season averaging 9 points a game. Almost let it go there. Hylock, corner three. Way off the mark. Air ball no good. And we hear the chant here at Westside. Caleb Benning, great move and one! Caleb Benning, how you do, young fella? The freshman works around Ingerson and forces a foul. Benning has shot onto the scene as a part of this Warriors offense, only a freshman. And of course, his father, Damon Benning, a Nebraska Husker running back in the 90s. And Benning converts the three-point play. Of course, we talked about football with Benning. Also wide receiver on the freshman 9-0 team this season. And looking to continue some success for Warrior basketball. Joey Hylock trying to work on Meeks, able to find much. Let didn't want the three, going to give it off to Aiden Graham. Aiden Graham, two-point jumper, way off the mark, another air ball, 2 straight possessions. Meeks trying to find his footing, going to give it off to Rezak. Tries to find a lane, layup no good, rebound, and go back the other way. 5-point lead for the Warriors, the most of the night, and a turnover. 3 straight unproductive possessions for Papillion-La Vista. And Westside looking to pounce. We see the quick workaround. We've seen this a lot this season. Working around the top of the key. Rezak trying to drive in. Look for the jumper, no good off the front iron. Let. Give it off to Ingerson. Approaching the 2-minute mark, left to go here in this second quarter, and a foul. We'll put it on Dominic Rezak. That'll be the Warriors' 7th foul here in the first half, and it'll move the Monarchs into the bonus. Chase Lett has struggled tonight from the charity strike. His first shot of the 1-on-1 is good. Lett's second shot is up and good. It's back to a 1-possession game as you see C.J. Mitchell back in the ball game. Mitchell, give it off to Thomas. Almost lost his footing and give it off to Caleb Benning. They'll call a foul on the floor. They'll put it on Chase Lett. The Monarchs' 5th of the first half. Long pass, almost a turnover. Mitchell able to keep it himself. Meeks, give it off to Logan Wilson. Thomas looking for an open lane, looks for the floater, and will get a foul, and we'll get 2 shots.
Picking up out of the Monarchs will be number 42, Hubert. His first in 19-6. Reggie Thomas. Shooting. 2.
We're seeing a lot of Thomas and Lett from the charity strike so far in this one as Thomas hits his first. See Keegan Hylock, Joey Hylock's younger brother, checks into the ball game for Chase Lett. Under 2 minutes left to go here in this first half. Warriors trying to keep a slight lead. Meeks hits both. Back to a 5-point game. Joey Hylock trying to work in the corner. Luke Lindenmeyer, long pass, ball go out of bounds. And they'll call it off of Kyle Ingerson, and another turnover. Papillion-La Vista, although it's only a 5-point lead for the Warriors, this one is no way out of reach. Papillion-La Vista has really struggled these last few possessions. Papio fans wanted a little bit of a push off from Meeks, and the rest will call it there. Offensive foul. And Meeks will check out of the ball game for Rezak. Just under a minute and a half to go here in the first half. Kyle Ingerson, Warriors working a little bit of a press, and they'll work back out of it. Ingerson has somewhat struggled so far tonight. We've really seen a lot of Aiden Graham. Keegan Hylock trying to find his footing. Long pass over to Joey. Joey drives into the lane. Layup is no good. Go back the other way. Caleb Benning, great pass over to Reggie Thomas. Won't get the and one. What a pass and shot from Reggie Thomas. And he'll look for the three-point play.
Better put that on the highlight reel.
And a great backdoor cut from Reggie Thomas. We saw that transition opportunity. We see guys like Thomas and Caleb Benning able to work that quick transition, especially in a court like this. It's going to be dangerous for other teams' defenses. Three-point play does not work out. And Aiden Graham, with 46 seconds left to go, will work it back out. Keegan Hylock doesn't want the three. Trying to work on Reggie Thomas. Great pass over to Kyle Ingerson, and it's blocked. Logan Wilson, 2 blocks over Kyle Ingerson tonight. Layup, no good from Benning, but Thomas puts it home, and it's a 9-point lead with 24 seconds left to go. Hylock over to Ingerson. Doesn't want the three, will give it out to Graham. He'll look for the three, and it's his second of the night. 3 seconds left to go. Thomas will get blocked. They'll call a foul, excuse me. And Thomas will get 2 shots to end off the first half. Check that once again. Sorry, guys. Aiden Graham was his first 3 of the night. Other jumper in the corner was a 2. 6-point lead, looking to make it 8 with 2 free throws here. His first shot rings in and out. Of course, once again, at halftime, we're going to get you guys checked back with the Dunkin Trivia Question of the game when we head to half. 0.8 seconds left to go in this first half. Thomas's second shot is up and good. It's a 7-point ball game. Long pass over to Aiden Graham. Last second shot is no good. And that will end the first half here at Westside High School. Number 8 Westside leads number 6 Papillion-La Vista 25-7 as we introduce the Westside dance team here in just a few moments.
Double
as we're back here at Westside High School. It's about 3 minutes away from the start of the second half. Westside up by 7. And once again, we're going to look at our Dunkin Trivia Question of the night. Nobody's got it so far. In 2018, the Westside girls basketball team won the Class A state championship for its 3rd time in school history. What player on that team won the Nebraska Gatorade Girls Basketball Player of the Year? Of course, hashtag Dunkin Trivia on Twitter. You get that one right, you get a $10 gift card to Dunkin Donuts. All the coffee and donuts you want. So coming here tonight, we're seeing another top 10 big matchup originally scheduled for last Friday. Inclement weather moved it to tonight. But a 7-point lead for the Warriors, really headed by a great performance in the paint from Reggie Thomas.
I mean, yeah, you really can't understate how important Thomas is to this offense. It's kind of vice versa with him and Chandler Meeks. If one's off, the other is usually on. And Chandler having a very good defensive night, don't get me wrong, but Reggie's just been that key factor, getting those points, being that huge energy that the Warriors need to continue playing.
Yeah, the two guys that have been, starters since, really getting in big games since their freshman year. They've been 2 years, 100% starters in all games. They've really had the experience that other guys haven't. And looking a little bit at Tate Oddbody tonight, we've talked about that ankle injury. He hasn't had most of the minutes that he usually has, and most nights we've seen Logan Wilson come in. He's done really good defensively, Logan Wilson has, but a little bit struggling on offense.
I mean, yeah, a lot of his points, kind of ironically, come from the perimeter. He's an above-average three-point shooter for his size, but him not being able to get in the paint because he's just not strong enough at this point, that hurts the Warriors very much.
It's going to be a big one here in the second half. A really low-scoring first half between both teams. Momentum swings can bring it back either way. As we had under a minute left to go until we head to tip. The second half is going to be huge, not only for points right now and just seeding and just bragging rights even to see somewhat. The wild card points are going to be really big here. Both teams, like we've said so far tonight, it's really, the tale of two top 10 teams that haven't beaten a top 10 team yet. Able to prove that they deserve to be among one of the top teams. The Warriors and Monarchs going to battle out here for 16 more minutes, and we'll see who can take this one home. Westside so far tonight has really been headed, of course, by Reggie Thomas. We also have been seeing Chandler Meeks with 6 points and another 3 rebounds. And we'll start it off here in the second half. 25-18 in favor of the Warriors. 7-point lead. Chase Lett's going to try to drive in. Layup to start it off. No good. Rebound. We'll go to the Warriors. Thomas will get out pacing Gillespie. Over to Meeks. Bending in the corner. Warriors this season, we've really been talking about so much the fast-paced style of offense. Being able to work in open lanes. Oddbody jumper, no good. Second chance off the window and in. 4 points to start it off for Tate Oddbody. He's averaged so far this season 16.5. Chase Lett almost loses the ball. That'll be tipped from Reggie Thomas. Of course, tonight, first night of this basketball season, and really winter sports season, that we've been able to see fans in the stands. Red Shield able to show out with 50 students, primarily seniors. But good to get back the best student section in the state. Joey Hylock trying to get into the corner. Chase Lett, first 3 of the night. And it's back to a 6-point ball game. Meeks uncharacteristic travel. The Warriors started off with a turnover. For Papillion-La Vista tonight, we've really seen them kind of sharing the love a little bit. Aiden Graham with 5, Joey Hylock with 4. Ingerson with only 6 has really been low for him. Hylock trying to drive in, he'll force the foul. We've also been seeing Chase Lett with 5 and Luke Lindenmeyer with 2. Highlock so far this season at the charity strike is 67%. And the weight on Lindenmeyer getting into the lane. And Highlock's first shot is up and good. As you see Chandler be checking the ball game. Highlock's second shot is up and good. And we're back to a 4-point ball game. Warriors, a big thing last season, up against their top 10 opponents. We saw up against Omaha Central, we saw up against Omaha South a little bit. In those big games, they really struggled to take advantage of that third and fourth quarters. Thomas trying to work around and will force a foul on Lindenmeyer. Papillion's coaching staff not happy with that one. Not really much Lindenmeyer could do on that one. It's going to be Lindenmeyer's third. Could be dangerous down the line, as we talked about this lack of depth that Papillion-La Vista has. Ball's going to go all the way to the other end. Will be off of Joey Highlock. Six minutes left to go here in this third quarter. It's been fairly even. Warriors working around the paint once again. Payson Gillespie has not had a lot of open opportunities here tonight. We'll let one up to Reggie Thomas. 3 out the front iron. And he's been surprisingly off so far these last couple games, especially at home this season from beyond the arc. We've been seeing him somewhat short arm a lot of those threes right at the top of the key. Aiden Graham trying to work around. Mitchell will give it off to Lindenmeyer, over to Lett. Long pass in the corner to Aiden Graham. Open 3, rings out up and no good. And Mitchell will bring it back the other way. Mitchell trying to work in the lane, won't be able to find it. Benning doesn't want the 3, will try to work it around. Benning, wing 3, no good. And he'll keep his own rebound. Try to find in, almost had to travel, is able to get back the other way to Reggie Thomas. Thomas will look to slow down, doesn't want the screen. Great backdoor cut and blocked by Luke Lindenmeyer. Will give it back over the other way. Excuse me, Reggie Thomas able to put his 12 points home. Aiden Graham, long pass in the corner, almost tipped. Chase Lett doesn't want the jumper. And they'll call a foul on the floor. And they'll put it on Payson Gillespie. Gillespie will check into the ball game with his 3rd foul of the night. And we're getting really close to having a lot of guys in somewhat of foul trouble. Rizak comes into the ball game. Highlock almost lost the ball to start it off with. Surprised that wasn't 5 seconds, was close. Highlock in the left corner. Open 3, Kyle Ingerson rings out. And 3 straight threes that have just barely missed. Tate Advati with a short 3, go back the other way. And the Monarchs will look to slow it down. Highlock, little floater, and it's in. It's back to a 4-point ball game. Mitchell trying to make some moves, going to give it out to Thomas. Thomas trying to work around in the layup. Hey, it's up and no good. Ingerson over to the corner to Highlock, looking for an open lane. Up the layup is no good. Rebound still on the floor. Go over to Chase Lett. Long pass, going to be intercepted. Back the other way. Benning, Advati. Floater, jump shot, no good. You see Logan Wilson come to the scorer's table. Highlock, long pass over to Aiden Graham. Graham Step back three, no good. And Thomas able to keep himself in bounds.
Dom Rizak with the cut in and the score.
Rizak able to put his first points of the night home and stretches the lead to 6. A little bit of a slower offensive style here in this latter part of the third quarter than we saw in the first half. But surprisingly, it hasn't changed really the averages of points. Will Hubert, pass over to Ingerson. He'll look for the layup, lose the ball, go to Joey Hylock. Aiden Graham doesn't want the corner three. And there'll be a foul on the floor on Dominic Rizak. And we'll see Tate Advadi come back out of the game for Logan Wilson. Lett, wide open corner three, no good. Surprise Warriors defense were allowed to, giving him that great of an opportunity. Mitchell, corner, Benning, and it's in! Caleb Benning, 6 points on the night with 2 threes. And the Warriors stretching it to 9. Monarchs need a big push here. Have not really had any momentum so far. Francis wants a timeout. 1:48 left to go here in this third quarter. Warriors lead by 9.